Atma Namaste. Welcome you all to the sessions for the enlightening on the concept of Pitru Paksh, or the time period specifically in India which is dedicated to remember the forefathers, dedicated to pray for the forefathers, and dedicated to do goodness which is supposed to uplift them, to do service, to do goodness, to do charity, which will help uplift our forefathers into higher realms of experiencing of the grace of God, into higher realms to experience the grace of God. So let us do a small invocation, because this is the topic which has to be intuitively understood. So we humbly invoke for the blessings of the Supreme Parabrahman, the Divine Father, Divine Mother, my spiritual teacher and all spiritual teachers, all the great ones, all the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the Paramatmas, Tirthankaras, prophets, archangels, holy angels and spiritual helpers, and with the help and the blessings of all our higher souls and divine self, thank you for the purification, the strengthening, the empowerment, the upgradation, the alignment, to be able to fulfill our part in the manifestation of the great vision, the accomplishment of the divine plan on this Mother Earth. We thank you in full faith. You see, when I talk about the divine plan, when we talk about bringing heaven and earth, it is not going to be possible for us to neglect or ignore all those people who are still in their emotional and mental vehicles, in certain realms which are not visible to us, but those realms which have constant influence upon us. These realms where the various entities of the astral world, the various beings of the mental world, all those beings who do not have a physical body but still in conscious existence with intelligence, are called as energy beings. And part of this world of the energy beings are those people or human beings who were once human, once in the physical form, and now no longer visible to us through the spectrum of light that the physical eyes can see. They are no longer visible to us through the spectrum of light that the physical eyes can see, is the reality for all those people who have left their physical bodies. I repeat, for all those who are not visible to the physical visibility or physical spectrum of the eye, would be just called commonly as energy beings. And these energy beings, whether you know it or not, are all around you. They can be people who have left their physical vehicles, or they could just be beings of the angelic kingdom, astral elementals entities, mental entities, which do not have a physical form but have a physical influence. Now, for those people who have left their physical bodies and those who have been connected to us in some form or another in this birth or previous births, will all be called our forefathers. And in many textbooks it also mentions that what we call our fathers are actually our own past incarnation habits which come back to us. So there is a whole combination to the understanding of the word Pitra, or the forefathers, or those who have been instrumental in giving us this physical body that we hold now, we have an obligation, एक ऋण है हमारा उन लोगों के तरफ जिन्होंने हमें ये शरीर प्रदान किया। एक ऋण है हमारा उन लोगों के तरफ जिन्होंने हमें ये शरीर प्रदान किया। इसे समझना, याद रखना बहुत जरूरी है। You see, coming into the physical body is the only and the fastest way into spiritual evolution. It is said that the Gautama Buddha took 450 human births in all. He became a Buddha in 450 births. About 350 births to become an Arahat or a Paramahansa, and another 100 births to leap into the realm of a Buddha. So every Paramatma, every being that would be given the title of Paramatma at this present point of time, has truly taken many incarnations, many times visited the realms of the emotional and the mental world, learnt many lessons, come back many times, and gone back to become greater beings. So since this physical body is like the culmination of the evolutionary process, the highest peak of the culmination of the evolutionary process that we have at this point of time, the consciousness having evolved through aeons and aeons, millions of years, has come to this point of an individualized soul, that is the human individual. To have got this birth is unique. To have got birth in a physical body, in a world, in a family which is inclined to spiritual growth, is greater uniqueness. Anyway, the point is, coming into this physical form is the only way for spiritual upgradation. What I am trying to tell you is, even the great ones have become great only through this spiritual form. So this spiritual form is of utmost importance, and those who have helped us to gain this form, at present wherever we are, we have an obligation towards them. That is the first point of concern. एक ऋण है, एक ऑब्लिगेशन है, क्योंकि उन्होंने हमें ये शरीर दिया है, हमें उनके साथ एक ऋण चुकाना होगा. So there is this story in the Indian mythology of Bhagirath. So Bhagirath is a great tapasvi. Yes. So tapasya is a word which signifies kindling of the Kundalini fire through complete celibacy. Sometimes the fire has to burn with great brightness to burn down all those negativities in around you, and all those negativities which may be holding down your progress along with the progress of those people who have been instrumental in endowing this body to you. So the story of Bhagirath is that he was instrumental in bringing Ganga from the Milky Way or the Akash Ganga into this earth. The Milky Way in the Hindu text is called as the Akash Ganga. And the story goes that Bhagirath, through his meditation, through the fire of his tapasya, brings down the Akash Ganga from the heavens into this earth. The fire of meditation, bringing it down into this earth. And what was the reason? His forefathers were cursed by a saint to remain. Hundreds of his forefathers were cursed by a saint to remain in this earthly hold, or be connected to the lower realms of emotional existence, be in miserable existence. Hundreds of his forefathers were stuck in the lower emotional planes. And the only way that they could be relieved out of these lower emotional planes was to bring down the energy of the Milky Way, Akash Ganga, into this earth. Now this story is extremely significant because it signals the advent of the divine energy downpour into this earth. The story of the Saint Bhagirath bringing Ganga down through the Mount Kailash, which is the galactic center of this earth, through the Ganges river, the consciousness of the galactic God pouring into this earth through Mount Kailash, being absorbed into the water body of Ganga, redeeming all those souls who could be held in the lowest realms of emotional existence, is the actual meaning of the story. Energy from the higher realms, the higher frequency, is required to liberate all those souls who are stuck in feeling of fear and insecurity, sometimes in the feeling of revenge and hatred. Sometimes they are still burning in anger and frustration even after death. Redeeming these souls require great energy downpour. And you know, who has to redeem these souls is the next question which arises. You see, the souls which have died in grief and fear, with the feeling of having to take revenge, are still in their own miserable world, wallowing in the darkness which has been created by them during their physical existence. Wallowing in the darkness created by them during their physical existence is the truth of the matter. And if somebody can approach them and somebody can explain to them, then who is it? It can be only part of their loved family. If somebody can approach a person after death who still is wallowing in grief, misery, fear, sorrow, or deep anger, revenge, ruthlessness, or brutality, or wishing to be violent, only somebody who has been loving, who has been caring, or for whom they had cared or loved, are the people who can approach them after their death and redeem them or resolve their issues and lift them to higher frequencies. This is the truth of the whole game. The divine energy, however potent, cannot reach those souls who are embedded in their own darkness, which they have created for themselves over many incarnations. Those souls which have created great darkness for themselves cannot be touched by the divine light. The divine light has to pass through their loved ones, their children, or those whom they have loved have to be those channels to bring the divine light into the hearts of those people who have left their physical bodies but still seem to be stuck in a world of misery. So this understanding is very important. It is a very, 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 very important thing that we really, really, really need to know and need to understand. That those people who have given us this body are still connected to us. Even though the umbilical cord with the mother is cut off at the physical level at the point of birth, the energy umbilical cord of a child is quite visible and quite strong, even up to the age of 14. And even after the umbilical cords or the connections between the parents and the children will go on for a long, long time at the emotional and mental level. It is required for the parents to be lifted from the emotional and the mental worlds into the causal and the intuitional worlds, from where they can become instruments to help you. Are you getting my point? There is a connection. We are all connected like the World Wide Web. Yes, the internet. We are all connected in an intricate web. Each one of us is connected. But we are more so connected with our family. Whether you talk to them, whether you do not, whether you like them, whether you do not, it does not matter. There is an etheric, emotional and mental connection beyond your recognition of the physical eye. And anything which happens to your family, good or not so good, is going to affect you. And even after their physical disappearance from the physical body, if they are not moving into greater realms of light, greater consciousness of love, and if they are not experiencing the divine grace of God after that, then the energy transmission between you and the people that have loved you, which continues, this energy transmission tends to bring in something which is not going to be uplifting. Are you getting my point? Yes, the energy transmission sometimes brings into you something which is not uplifting. So that is where we have a role to play. We need to strongly understand that our role is to improve ourselves spiritually. In the physical world, we can do it easier rather than after leaving our physical body. It is easiest to forgive when you are still alive. It will be harder after death or after the physical death. Believe me, it is easiest to forgive when you are alive. It is easiest to let go of all your grudges when you are alive. Suicide is not an option in many of the cases, because what you found hard here will be harder when you leave your body. Yes, and for those people who have left us, they are always constantly looking down upon us. For example, if a young mother, yes, or a mother with young children has passed away when the children were really young and small and could not take care of themselves, the mother's yearning is so strong that even after death, in the emotional and the mental body, or even sometimes in the etheric consciousness, she is seen by many onlookers being around her children, taking care of them, warning them, protecting them, so that they may not be hurt. This is the truth. this is not fodder for movies. It is the truth of the matter that those who have taken care of you, have loved you, want to see you completely happy. And somewhere it is important for us also to think about their happiness in cases they had unfinished business and they have not moved into the higher realms. In cases where they had unfinished business and they had not moved into the higher realms, it is very, very, very important for us to be able to channelize the love that they seek, the understanding that they seek. You know, most of these spiritual concepts just do not become clear because you have left the physical body. Please listen to me carefully. Just because you have left the physical body, क्योंकि आपने ये शरीर छोड़ दिया, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं बनता है कि आपको दुनिया का हर चीज साफ साफ समझ आना शुरू हो जाएगा. It is not a possibility that a person who has left the physical body will suddenly become a genius of extraordinary intelligence, that he will understand everything crystal clear. It is not possible for them to understand spiritual truths crystal clear if they have not made an attempt to understand it in the physical level, being in the physical body and with the physical brain intact. Am I making myself clear? It is important for us to make an endeavor to open many, many, many windows of understanding when we are in this physical body. And as we open up these windows, we will enter into greater realms of spiritual understanding. So, we will be discussing the book, The Invisible Helpers, and this book study will be happening on YouTube. This book has been chosen for this particular time to help you deeply understand where we go after death, where we find ourselves after death, into which realm, into which frequency, into which consciousness, what should be the kind of thought that you hold at the last moment, what is Bardo, what is the realm of transition that we find ourselves at the point of death, what kind of energy, what kind of thought patterns, what kind of emotion should we hold, so that death can be an enlightening experience, an illumination, an upgradation on our spiritual path. What kind of thoughts that we need to hold, what kind of meditations can be done that we are able to let go of the lower attachments, what kind of meditations to be practiced through your lifetime which will help you release yourself from the lowest level of attachments and fly into the higher worlds at the point of transition from the physical to the non-physical. The point of transition called the Bardo, the point of transition from the physical to the non-physical, is simply like the point of labor pains at the time of delivery, where the child which is within the womb of the mother physicalizes into the external world. So like this process, there is a process of the death also. Like there are hormones which are secreted for a mother to be able to easily deliver, the pituitary, the oxytocin. There are also hormones called as the death hormones which prepare human beings, which make them aware of the inner world, and many of the people report to seeing certain people around their beds who are telling them that the time has come. They can see different forms. Sometimes they can see their own relatives who tell them that the time has come, it is time to move on. So there are certain hormones which will actually loosen the web of protection which prevents astral consciousness or astral seeing for a normal human being. A normal human being cannot see beyond the spectrum of light because of the atomic protective web. But the death hormone secreted at the point of death helps loosen up this astral web and help prepare the person by seeing those people who are waiting for him or her. They are able to see the silver ladder. They are able to see their relatives, their loved ones on the other side who are waiting to greet them and take them into a zone of comfort. Like here, the family of the child is waiting to embrace the child into a family of comfort. So even at the point of death, the family that you had in this physical life, the members of those family may be there already available to embrace you and bring you into a state of comfort when you leave your physical surroundings, your physical body. Come into new surroundings, they are already there. So these concepts and more, which will actually help in the elimination of the concept of death, elimination of the fear which surrounds the concept of death. It is necessary for us to eliminate the fear which surrounds death. Very important. And it is also important for us to understand that the status of revenge that some people hold, intense revenge and violence that people hold, will continue even after their physical body disappears. Actually, when the physical body disappears, you are capable of plotting revengeful scenarios 24/7. When a soul is miserable, then it has a great physical influence through the emotional and mental bodies of those people who are alive. Since the person who is physically dead still holds on to the emotional and the mental body. Yes, a person who is physically dead is only at the physically level dead, that is the physical organs, the requirement for eating, dressing up, the requirement of sleeping or fatigue of the body is all at the physical level. And when this physical existence is complete and finished, and when the person moves into the astral world or into the emotional realms, and there are many frequencies of the emotional world, there are many frequencies, there are many realms. You can actually imagine the emotional world as a huge building having many floors. The topmost of this building is called as the Gandharva Loka, where the experience is of youthfulness, is of music, is of love, is of happiness and of enthusiasm. As you come into the lower and lower realms of that building, which you call as the emotional world, you see, you just imagine that this emotional world is like a building, okay? And this building has many floors, and each floor has a separate kind of frequency of inhabitants. Each floor has a separate kind of frequency, a different kind of frequency. And at the point of death, the frequency that you vibrate with, you resonate with, you will be taken into that particular floor. This is the emotional world, right? The emotional world can be imagined for us at the level of what our imagination takes us to be a building which has many floors. And in this bottom floor of this building is what you would generally call, technically called hell. And as we go into the higher and higher and higher and higher and higher floors, yes, as we go into the higher floors, the topmost floor is called as the Gandharva Loka. That is the floor of youthfulness, of regeneration. So beyond this 7 floors. How many floors would this emotional world have? 7 floors. And beyond this is the mental world, which is the Swarg or the heaven. The heaven world has another 7 floors. And these 7 floors again have different frequencies. Depending on the level of mental understanding of a human being, the level of mental understanding the human being has upgraded himself or herself during the physical existence. Okay, so this and much more you will be made to understand, or you will find an understanding as we go through the book studies, which will be available to you on YouTube in the Feed the Soul Energy Healing YouTube channel, which will be available to you soon. So thank you all for being with us, and thank you for continuing to be with us, so that we can help, or we can be instruments in liberating those many souls who are stuck in the lower realms of the astral world. We can be instrumental in the liberation of those many souls who are stuck in the lower realms of the astral world, seeking liberation and seeking help. Are you getting my point? So heaven is possible in my life, in the life around us, in the people around us, in this earth, only when these souls would be liberated from the consciousness that they are stuck in. So together, let us be able to channelize more love, more peace into their life. Let us do a short forgiveness. We will focus on asking for forgiveness from those people who have left the physical bodies. And if we still hold grudges towards anybody who has left the physical body, we wish to forgive them first. If we still hold grudges towards anybody who have left their physical bodies, anybody connected to us in this birth, who have left their physical bodies, but I have not dropped a grudge against them, I think it is time that we finish this course, we settle this course, we let go, because if we do not forgive them, we will just have to forgive them after our death, because we will not be released from the lower frequency of existence until we are able to achieve that. So smile at your heart, put your hands in the Namaste Mudra. We are all children of God, and we are all children of Most High. We are all on the path of evolution. If I have been hurt by anybody, if I have been hurt or pained or victimized by anybody, I wish to forgive them. And more so, I wish to forgive all those people against whom I hold grudges even after they have left their physical bodies, even after they are dead. I wish to release them from my consciousness. I wish to relieve myself of this pain, the grudge, the hatred, the anger that I hold. This grudge, anger, hatred and pain, I know rationally, logically, I know is no longer required. But do I know that it is going to hurt me? The grudge, the pain, the anger that I hold is actually eating into my energy. With this deeper understanding, I wish to let go, I wish to send peace and love to all those people, I need to forgive, and especially those who have left their physical bodies. Touch your heart with the left hand and channelize intense love towards all those people whom I have to forgive and let go. May the unconditional love and peace of God be with me and be with all of them. Om Shanti 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 Om. Om Shanti 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 Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Blessings be to them of peace and love. I wish to cut my bonds with them. You can keep your left hand at Ajna, 3 fingers. Use your will and say cut, cut, cut. Take a deep breath and exhale. Again put your hands in the Namaste Mudra. If I have been the one who has hurt those people who are no longer in their physical body, if I would have ever insulted them, pained them, if I would have ever ignored them, if they have not forgiven me, I plead, I seek forgiveness. I plead for forgiveness, I seek forgiveness, I beg for forgiveness. If you hold any grudges of revenge or anger against me, please forgive me now. I understand what I would have done would have pained you. If I would have ignored you, if I would have caused you pain, if I would have been the reason for your misery in your life, I have learned my mistake and I will never ever repeat it again. Please forgive me. I plead forgiveness. I beg for forgiveness. May you be filled with a lot of love and peace, and may I be filled with a lot of love and peace. You can bring them in your mental image if you can remember them, or just simply to all those people I would have hurt, knowingly or unknowingly, I just channelize love. उन सब लोगों के तरफ हम प्रेम और शांति भिजवाते हैं जिनको कभी न कभी हमने जाने या अनजाने में दुख पहुंचाया होगा. ओम शांति 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 ओम. ओम शांति 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 ओम. ओम शांति 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 ओम. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम. Please go in peace. Put your left hand, 3 fingers at Dashna with your will. Intend to cut these bonds. Cut, cut, cut. Just be aware. Channelize a lot of love into your own life. A lot of peace into your own life. As I neutralize my bonds through forgiveness, through heartfelt forgiveness, as I neutralize my bonds through channelizing unconditional love and unshakable peace. May I be blessed with lot of love and peace, and may my environment and all my loved ones constantly be blessed with love and peace. Om Shanti 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 Om. Om Shanti 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 Om. Om Shanti 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 Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May you constantly experience the peace and love of God. We thank the Supreme God, the Divine Father, Divine Mother, my spiritual teacher and all spiritual teachers, all the great ones, all the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the Paramatmas, the Tirthankaras, the prophets, the archangels, holy angels and spiritual helpers. We thank you for the purification, the strengthening, the empowerment, the upgradation, the alignment. Thank you for your priceless constant downpour of blessings. Thank you in full faith for your divine guidance, help and protection. Thank you in full faith. Atma Namaste to all of you. We salute the divinity within you. Thank you.